Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Jiminy Flip It live chat show. It's potluck night, as I indicated in the messages just a moment ago in the comments. Free for all tonight. All topics are on the table. Let me mute myself because I hear myself in delay. Sorry about that. Okay, I think we're good. Happy to bring along my special guest for the third straight show, Mr. Travis Griffin from Bio Digital Jazz. Come on in, Travis. There he is.
Hey, Martin.
Hey, how you doing?
What's this about, a potluck?
Hey, it's potluck Monday night. They're having roast beef, lasagna. What else they got? I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's just a kind of a wide open forum tonight. We encourage anybody who wants to come on and ask some questions or bring up some topics. Kind of everything's fair game tonight.
Okay, I'm up for it.
Cool. How you doing? How was your week?
Interesting. Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, probably not. I don't know. It's Monday, right? So who even remembers past this morning? If you can do that, I feel like it's been a good Monday.
That's very
so
true.
I'll get back to you in about an hour. I'll let you know how it was.
All right. I think you have a cup of coffee, you said, right?
Maybe you come in with a hardball question. Jeez,
I mean, right out of the gate.
Time. Where's the softballs? Yeah, I got my coffee, so let me drink some of that.
Hey, Tracy. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining. Hey, Eric. Happy birthday, Eric. I heard it's your birthday. The big 3-0.
30.
Oh. I don't know. I'm just taking a step. I have no idea.
Congrats on that.
Yeah, but happy birthday to you. Thanks so much for spending some time tonight with us. We appreciate it. If you guys just joined, you probably heard we're calling this potluck night. So anybody has any questions, thoughts, bring them up. Wide open this evening. I know Travis, I'm pretty sure he still has that membership to the website, don't
gym?
you?
Worth Point, yeah.
Oh yeah, Worth Point. That's it.
Yeah, I do have a gym membership. I haven't really tapped into it of late, but I have been paying that bill. But yeah, I also have Worth Point.
That's awesome. Yeah, so rare opportunity here that we provide for our esteemed guests to come on in. If you have anything you want to look up within reason, Travis will look it up for you. We've had some
parameters on it. I don't even think it has to be within reason.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You know, maybe when you hit like 1 million subscribers, you got to tone it down, right?
That's true.
So tonight,
until that point,
yeah.
But I know we're on the cusp, but until we actually officially make it to 1 million.
Yeah, we're right there. I know. I keep looking for that that big silver plate hanging in your.
It'll be there.
Big giant library there.
I hope so. Yeah, this is Stately Wayne Manor. It's the library.
Nice.
Yeah. Stately Cricket Manor.
I like it. I wish I lived there.
Me too. All right.
Hey, so Tracy sold some posters.
Talk to us. How many did you sell? Did you get good money for them?
Did you sell that one with the lady?
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a classic from the very first show, I think.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Yeah, I'm curious if you sold that one. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. It's a cool background.
So, Marty, I saw that you got into the shorts business today.
I did. I threw a quick short up there. I'm on the fence. I don't really know much about them. I've seen some people do it, and it's kind of in parallel with the series I'm doing about print ads. I was just actually thumbing through a magazine, whipped out the phone and said, you know what? Let's just bring up this point. So we'll see how it does, It kind of it coincides with the series. It's just something I figured I'd throw out there. But thanks for that.
Was it? Was there any editing involved? Or you just
that's no editing. Right from the phone, bam. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Okay.
I think, the only edit I did was I incorporated a photo of the listing. Like it was 30 seconds long. The first few seconds was showing the ad that I was looking at initially, which was full page. And then I wound up to do a transition from that to the smaller ones. I just threw a quick photo of my listing on eBay.
Yeah, that sounds like editing to me. I don't think
that's editing on the smallest scale possible, though. So
I would have given up. Right there.
No, you got to get into this, man. I know. I heard you last night. You were talking.
Oh, she sold the one with the lady.
You did.
What did you get for it?
Zora.
Oh, God, Zora.
Time ran up.
I'll never forget the time I first saw Zora.
I have it saved for posterity if you want to.
I'm going to go back and rewatch. Do you need another view on that one? I'll go back and do it.
Always. That's so cool. And one collector bought them all. That's great. Yeah, that's the idea, right? You want to get people like that to buy multiples. That's always a great feeling when somebody's interested. Yeah.
Man, I want to hear her secret now. Marty, I did do, you had talked about where you had created a promotion
Yes.
For all your ads. So it's like you buy the second one, they ship free or something along those lines.
Buy 2 or more. Yeah. If you buy 2 or more, it ships for free.
I did it. I did buy 2 or more and it's flat $10.95 shipping, which is how much it costs to ship one of those poster tubes I have.
Okay.
You know, but maybe I need to modify it, buy 3 or more and get free shipping. I mean, at that point, I don't mind losing the $10 to get 3 at minimum $20 sales of
I was just okay. 3 or 20. Cool. Yeah. I was just going to say
a lot of those posters, there's some cool ones, but to me, they're like dead stock at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. You just want to move them.
I'd be happy to move them. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Something new again.
Yep. No, it's a good technique. It seems to work. And it encourages people to buy more too, which is always a good thing. It gives them incentive. Made a bundle deal. So $65. Wow.
Nice. And what did you get in? What do you have into those, Tracy?
Probably not so much. That's so
what a
cool.
steal. That is a beaut. Those, they may not have any, I'm sure there's followers of those particular movies, right?
Yeah.
But there's such a kind of a, I don't even know if it's a B movie, like a C art filmish Italian movie or some kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually the artwork is more important than anything you saw in the film.
So true.
And those were beautiful. That was just a great poster. Yeah,
I really liked it too. And you're right. It's not that they're necessarily looking for that film. They're probably they just want to find anything in that genre at all they'd be into.
James?
No, I haven't seen James. He does this kind. Yeah, they're really good. And I think we discussed this at length kind of last week, but the reason I do it is the ads that I have this special on, they weigh, even with the mailer, 6 ounces, 5.5, 6 ounces for one. Each one probably weighs an ounce or less, each sheet of paper. So I could put like 10 of them in there and still be under a pound. So
I forgot. Do you put those on a backer board as well inside the sleeve?
No. I have like a plastic, like an envelope sort of a thing that they go in, a clear plastic. So I put them all together in that and I tape it shut and it keeps them kind of flat. And then I put that in like a rigid mailer, like a photo mailer. Yeah.
Okay. And no issues.
Never an issue. And it's funny you said that because I just got feedback today. I was going to show you guys how cool it is to see when somebody writes something like this. I'll show you. Just 1 second. I'll do a screen share quick. You see that? All the reference, they keep saying great packaging, super fast, excellent packaging. And that's all. Those were all
Batman.
What's that? I saw. Yeah, I did. I didn't want to say I shouldn't have given out that, but yeah. Isn't that cool though? You see how many people, reference the fact that it was well packed. Even like a keyboard that I sold.
Especially when someone goes to look and, that's one of your primary types of genre of listing. Exactly. And they're like, yeah, but how does this guy ship it? Like he can go look at feedback for the same items.
Yep.
And instantly know, got nothing to worry about. So that is very important. Yeah.
That's gold. Yeah. I love to see that up there. Cool. There's James.
I'll have to check that out.
I'm sorry. Let me catch up with some of these comments. Tracy's writing up a storm.
Jeez, Tracy, why don't you just show up on the show?
A whole box of all of them for $2 a piece. Okay, cool. And you made 65. That is just phenomenal. How do you ship them, Tracy? Are they the kinds that go in the tubes? Or are they like the flat ones? Like I have a bunch of those one sheets. Are they called? Travis, is that what they're called? The one sheets.
Are they folded?
They're folded, like very neatly.
Yeah, those
folded.
are really nice and easy.
They fit in the exact same mailer that I send the print ads in. Same way.
When I bought my big lot of, 250, I would say about 50 of them that are worth reselling were the folded types. So I haven't even got around to listing those. And I got some cool ones in there. But sometimes you run into, you remember that movie? Probably no one does. Maximum Overdrive. It was the only movie that Stephen King ever directed. It was about like monster trucks that came alive. The great Emilio Estevez was in it, I believe.
The great.
Right. So horror movies, posters, regardless of quality of the movie or almost quality of the poster, as far as, condition, they do really well. But that was one of the ones that had originally been folded, but had been laying flat for, I don't know, 2 decades or something like that.
Wow. Yeah.
And you've got to be careful. You don't want to necessarily roll those, but you also got to look, if I fold these, is it going to make it worse? If I roll these, is it going to make it worse? So sometimes you got one of those right in the fence and you got to do one or the other.
Yeah. Stiff cardboard folded flat. Okay.
Okay, good.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get them out there for first class, I assume, or does the cardboard kick it over?
For a folded one, she should be able to get that under first class.
I think so too. But she said between still card. I guess so. Yeah, it probably doesn't add up so much.
It should still 14 ounces or so would be my guess.
That's great.
I made the mistake of buying 34-inch long, heavy duty mailers, which for my rolled ones, and I like it. It's very industrial. No one's poster's ever gotten hurt, and I get that same kind of feedback you're looking at. But it's always pushed me into priority. They're all 1.1 ounces or 2 ounces.
Yeah.
So if I could go back in time, if I ever do this again, I'll get 30-inch ones or whatever, and I'll always end up just under a pound and won't need to charge $11 to ship the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You think that was hurting sales potentially because of that shipping?
I think so. You see a $20 poster that's got some nostalgia attached to it, and then you see that I got to pay $11 to get it to me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking at your idea. I wrote that down. I'm like, what if I just change that by 3 and get free shipping? So then they're getting $10 off. It doesn't look like it's shipping cost at all, and I can still put 3 in the same mailer, no problem. Yeah,
no, I would definitely encourage it. It works. I mean, and all of yours, you don't have any of those one sheet, the flat ones? Are they all around?
Do.
You do?
I do. I haven't even got around to listing.
Oh, you didn't. I'm sorry, you did say that. You didn't list them yet. Yeah. Okay.
It's on the list of all these.
It's on the list.
Money that are sitting there somewhere just to go. Posters are not fun to photograph.
That's the hardest thing by far, the photograph. Yep.
That is the worst.
Yeah. I do too, Tracy. Generally speaking, it's just I have this. It's a combo deal, basically. To encourage people to buy multiples of stuff that I know is dirt cheap to ship anyway. That's my method is, and it works pretty well for me to encourage those multiple purchases. Better than described, best shipping ever. Yeah, isn't that a great? It's a great thing to say, and like Travis said, it's so cool when somebody goes in as a potential buyer and they see those first few pop up, and like you said, nothing to worry about.
Yeah. That like also helps you the next time you are out in the hunt, you see some things, you've now got experience with those posters, what's involved in it. Yeah. And it's like, no big deal. Hey, I've already got feedback to prove that I did it the right way. So that's great.
Exactly. Proof is in the pudding. Okay. Yeah. You do the combined. Sure. Yeah. I couldn't even imagine anybody that doesn't combine shipping on things, like I don't think I would ever buy from somebody. If you're buying a bunch of stuff, it's even if you don't say, like I have verbiage in a lot of my listings that say we happily combine shipping or something like that. I put it out there, but we've discussed this too, that most people don't read, but it's out there just in case. And I'll always go in proactively. If somebody buys a couple things, I'll always shoot out a message right away. Don't worry, I'm going to combine shipping. I can't imagine.
I do that on occasion. I mean, it's in all my listings, but I have similar items, so I wish that happened more often than it does. I know I could go in there and play around with those business policies, and I feel like I've spent ungodly amounts of time trying to figure out the math and justifications to make it happen. Yeah. Yet eBay, man, it's like it's not an easy thing for a seller. You would think it would just be something more easier than it is. Perhaps I'm just dumb.
Business policies, you mean just business policies as a whole?
Yeah. They're not exactly calculus, but they're also not exactly like American English either.
No, you're right. Yeah, there's a little, I guess there's an art to it, if you will. But yeah, it's not intuitive, as they say, right? It's not really intuitive.
Maybe if I learned it, I'd go out on Fiverr and people could pay me to create their business policies for them.
There you go. I think I smell a video. What do you think, Tracy? We're looking for ideas. I had a couple of people actually ask about that because I did a video a week or two ago about I updated a policy. I went to, this is the first time I ever did it. The same day. Yeah. The same day handling, rolling the dice a little with that. I've been fine. I cut the really important aspect of that, like I indicated, was you have to make sure your cutoff time, you state your own cutoff time for an intraday purchase. I think mine was like 10 a.m. So as long as anything is purchased before 10 a.m. my time, I'll get it out the same day.
What time is it? 10:30 your time?
It's 10 a.m. my time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
well, after your video, I went and did the same thing.
Did you?
I changed it to 6 a.m. my time because that's when I'm out there packing.
Okay.
So, you know, it doesn't help a lot, but at least, you know, those overnight people that are
exactly,
you know, way back, or some of the East Coasters that get up a little early.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe it's a sale here or there, and I'm happy to get it out.
Same. That's what I'm hoping. And I've heard mixed reviews or mixed comments that it might help with search too, supposedly, if you offer same day. So I didn't do it on everything across the board because there's some items that are just big and bulky, and I would never, you know, my luck at a minute to 10, somebody would buy something that takes me an hour to pack, you know. I don't know.
10 bowling balls.
Exactly.
Shipping, please.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Eric with a good question. That should have been the number one question I asked you, actually, day one.
Digital Jazz? Okay, so I think we talked about Tron a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Digital Jazz is just a throwaway comment that Jeff Bridges makes in the newer Tron movie. And I've always just loved the reference is that it's a combination of art and technology. Just so I've always loved that term, and the domain name was not taken when I was trying to think of an eBay store name. So I bought the domain name, pointed it to my eBay store, and I don't know, anything that has to do with Tron, I'm a sucker for it, even if it kills sales. I don't know. I just love everything about Tron. And so that's where that came from.
Yeah, I don't know how many people would get the reference, but I guess the ones that do would think you're like the coolest guy ever.
Yeah, right. I want to be the coolest guy to like 2 or 3 people on this planet. That's good enough because, I could use it.
Speaking of cool, we got to acknowledge the Jaws T-shirt. I mean, that is just a stellar,
you like that?
Stellar piece of clothing right there. That's very cool. You got, of course, you got his face coming up. Can you go up a little bit? You got the coming out. Yeah, sure.
It's a
what is he going after?
Pop.
Oh, okay, that's funny. That is cool.
You're welcome. Yeah, Tracy.
Oh yeah, I totally understand that. Luckily, I'm doing this full time, so I have that. I can't believe it took me all this time to think of that, but it's funny you mentioned that because I was going through my own business policies. Because you're right, not only are they not the most intuitive things in the world, but if you start, they add up. Like I had like a page of them, and like half of them I don't even remember what I did, and like they have a cleanup option, but I wound up just deleting a bunch. You could combine, which is kind of cool. You could actually combine like similar. Like I didn't even realize I replicated like one that I had done 2 years ago.
You see copy and copy and copy.
Yeah. You can copy them. You can actually, like I said, you can check them and combine them into one.
That's the annoying thing, because you might have you're like, I got it. Move these 10 listings up to that one, right?
Yeah.
And then you see you got a copy of it. You're like, why didn't you move?
Yeah.
That's because you either sent out an offer on an item that was using that, or you're whatever, and that's really annoying.
Yeah, it errors out. It actually errors out. Like it'll say, you know, whatever, 50 moved, 10 were not moved, and it gives you some funky reason. It doesn't say something in plain English like
like you just said. Oh, you have an offer out. That's why
you can't change it. Right? No, they put some ridiculous code in or something that. Yep.
Some hex code or some binary or something like that. Go plug it into binary.com and figure out what this means or something.
There you go. Look at this. I smell a purchase.
Oh,
Tron
man.
poster.
Tracy, maybe if you don't want to get hit with certain, I don't know, seller fees or the like, I don't know, maybe talk to me ahead of time.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, Eric, that's where my true love of it came, just spending quarters, wasting away, playing that Tron game nonstop.
Cool. I think I saw the movie, and no offense, I thought it was awful. Like, I mean, I was probably in high school or so, but I remember saying it. No offense. I mean, I'd probably better now. I don't think I had any expectations when I saw it. It looked cool. It looked very futuristic and all, but I don't really remember the plot, like, at all. Just some guy in a machine, and it was
I mean, it wasn't anything great. It was, to me, I was 7, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
It's something in it just kind of reached in and just hooked me.
Sure.
Whether it was the visuals or the synthesized music.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, it definitely
the
did.
Freaking frisbees that
Yeah. I remember that.
and break somebody's face. Yeah, what's not to like at 7?
That's
You
very
were chasing girls and
right. I had no time.
Whatever those guys do.
Yeah, laser frisbees just weren't.
Laser frisbees was not a way to get girls back in the day.
Right. Exactly. Motorbike space racing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I might have to revisit that film. When did that come out? 82, 83?
82.
82.
Yeah. It also died because 82 was like the summer of blockbusters.
Rocky,
The Thing, Blade Runner, Raiders of the Lost Ark. No,
maybe
not Raiders of the Lost Ark, but there was just a ton of huge movies, and Tron just got lost.
No, Raiders was 81. I know that.
Yeah.
Oh, 83 was Rocky 2, right? Or Rocky 3?
I wasn't ever going to include Rocky 3 or 2.
That's a great anything. Yeah, I know. But as far as like
maybe Rocky 2, yeah.
Rocky 2 was cool. Yeah, it got a little silly with Rocky 3 and beyond.
That's a good question for the potluck. You go first, though. I got it. I'm also.
You probably have a lot cooler answer than I do. Top grailed items you would love to find that you've never found.
To resell, Tracy, or just tied to your own type of collection?
Yeah, because in my case, if it was for my own collection, it would be like certain records that I've either had years ago and lost for whatever reason, or would love to have a really good version of. My thing is music, so it would probably be a record in my case, and it could be one of about 10 of them, to be honest with you. But to resell, see, I'm not or for personal. Yeah, she said or for personal. I mean, I guess your stuff. Do you have Tron stuff that's on your dream item list? I know you have some, but is there something you always wanted?
I would love. I mean, Eric hit it right on the nail. Not that this would be something I would find typically. You might see it on a Craigslist poster if you're really lucky, but the arcade cabinet for the Tron game.
Oh yeah.
I'd probably, how many livers do people have?
Not enough for that.
I would ditch most of them except for maybe 3/4 of one,
Wow.
just to get that Tron cabinet.
Really? Yeah. That's kind of cool.
I'd also commit murder and a number of other things, but that's probably personal. But yeah, Marty, I want to hear your sales grail. I mean, things that you have seen other, YouTubers find in the wild or whatever, and then they pay $5 or whatever it might be.
Right.
And it's a $250 item or something.
I'd really have to think about that because a lot of those things are crazy one-off items. You know what I mean? Like I can't think of something that's like, if it's popular, or if it's very common, it's not going to go for huge money. So I don't know. I'd have to think. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. Like I said, I guess even maybe the personal stuff can slide into the reselling world. I guess certain records. I'm a Beatle guy, as a lot of people know. So any like original 60s Beatle, especially mono. There's I'll give you one. There's what's called the first Beatle album was called Please Please Me. And if you have the original stereo release, because at the time mono was king. Mono records ruled in the early 60s because most people didn't have stereos. Most people had a regular record player and stuff. So mono was just the way of the world.
So the mono, which is, I wouldn't say it's less quality.
No,
but
certainly not.
It's singular quality compared to the dual
spatial,
split or whatever. But you're saying mono at the time was
mono was king until maybe the mid 60s. Like the few people that had stereos, it was usually older people, not pop or rock fans that were teenagers buying Beatle records or Elvis records at the time. Classical records were often recorded in stereo. They were like about the first genre that went stereo, but it was a novelty almost, and stereos are very expensive. Most people had a record player that had one speaker, So these artists really, the mono it's definitely not lesser quality. It's just different. And in the Beatles cases, I mean, the mixes are radically different on some songs, the mono versus stereo.
So you can tell the difference.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
Well, of course you're a musical guy, but
yeah, I wish I could, if I could play something, which you can't, YouTube would block it immediately, but I would love to, you'd even hear it through YouTube if you have a dual speaker setup.
What if you covered it?
Can you sing in mono? If you think about it, life is in stereo, right? You hear surround sound, everything. And this was kind of just focused. If you could just envision, instead of having like guitar on one speaker and bass on the other or drums, it's all consolidated into one channel. So everything just comes out directly at you. And in some instances, especially those early records, it made it sound better. It makes it much more thumpy and it just sounds more edgy. The stereo was kind of, because they didn't have that much instrumentation going on initially, you didn't really need stereo. It kind of just sounded like a weak drum track out in the ether on the side. Like it didn't warrant stereo, if you will. Later on, when they had so many different instruments and effects and stuff, then you want that spectrum of sound. But anyway, there's that Please Please Me. There's a Parlophone was the record company in EMI Parlophone in England. And if you have the stereo version of Please Please Me, which was a very poor seller at the time, because again, everybody got mono, that thing's worth, I don't know, $10,000 or something for the one record. So that's that's going to be mine. Show me that. Show me the gold label. Please Please Me. If anybody wants, I'll give you an email address. You could send me. I'll give you a mailing address.
If there's any fans that have this thing and would
please
love to
feel free.
Marty out, shoot it over to him.
Yeah. That's definitely, that's mine. 1849 Coronet Head Gold Double Eagle coin. Wow. Oh yeah, you guys are metal detectors.
1849, huh?
I think Tracy alluded to that you do metal detecting. That's kind of cool.
So can you call heads or tails on that coin, or is it always one side? I mean, what does that mean? Maybe that's why she wants it, so she can win every coin flip the rest of time.
Hey, Paul, thanks for joining.
Really?
RCA Living Stereo Classic. Yeah, the classical stuff was, I think it was the first genre to be produced in stereo. And like some musicals and stuff like that. Like I have a bunch of those actually that I got from estate sales, like Oklahoma, the soundtrack to Oklahoma, the soundtrack to My Fair Lady, stuff like that. That might be like late 50s, early 60s. A lot of that's in stereo.
Now, is there something that'll say what Paul said? Will it have like a RCA Living Stereo logo?
Yeah. I believe it did.
So
yeah,
if you see that, you should maybe grab it if it's cheap.
Yeah.
I have some stuff like that.
And you'll see stuff like that in estate sales. I come across so many records in
estate
That's
all sales. That's left by the second day. When
exactly. It's always soundtracks and like, not Bobby Darin, Bobby Vinton records and stuff, things like that. Top of the record. Yeah. On the label, right, Paul? Like actually on the label, I think it would say it.
All right. I got a My Fair Lady here.
I have the same one. I probably have that in triplicate. It's a really good condition. In the shrink wrap?
Oh, no, it's just super shiny.
Oh, wow. It looks like a shrink.
I just like the artwork on it.
And you see, that's good. You have an original inner sleeve, it looks like.
Yeah. And then
on the cover, okay.
And then in this case, wow, there's a giant scratch on it,
shoot. It's
all right. It's not like I listen to a lot of My Fair Lady, but I just like to have it. I just really like the artwork, and I did enjoy the movie back in the day.
Well, like you just said, if you look that up and you see it's not too valuable, you could frame that and put it up on your wall. It would still look kind of cool. They are like.
Yeah, you got stuff like that?
I do. Can't see it. It's behind here, but yeah, I have.
Is it way back there in the back of your giant Wayne Manor
library?
I think I see it. Yeah, I think it's
somewhere between the chandelier and the Lincoln.
Yeah, and I see some Monet and the Renoir or whatever up there. That's where it is. Uh-oh. Marty, did you go? At the top of the record, Paul. Man, what color is that typically, Paul? I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that. Oh, Eric, that is bad news right there. How long ago was that? Marty, okay, so you weren't attacked. That's good to hear. Folks, I'm sorry you're stuck with me until Marty figures out how to work this camera. 1980. Now, does insurance cover a Beatles collection? Back in the day, that probably wasn't worth as much. Now you could probably retire. Yeah, Marty was tired of this. He actually just gave his whole channel over to me. So let me know. What are your thoughts on Marty and his big exit right out of the gate?
Etu, Travis? Etu? Sorry about that, guys.
I know you were listening. I thought you were still on the floor.
Oh, I'm always listening. Always listening.
Okay.
I'm running the whole thing. Look at this. I got all my focuses off.
Oh, man. It's a band with two speakers blowing at each other and says living stereo. All right, Paul. I am writing this down. I'm going to look it up.
What was the 1980 reference? I'm sorry, because I was finagling with my camera. What is
it's bad. You don't want to know about it. It's bad news.
Bad stuff? Okay. We best move on from that.
Eric, yeah. Read up a couple posts and you'll see, and you'll probably.
Oh, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh my goodness. No, in a house fire. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's horrible. In 1980, it burned up. What a sin. I'm glad you're okay. That's what matters. You can rebuy the records, right? Well, might not be as easy as I say, but.
Okay, here's a listing, and for those interested in the logo, Marty, you mind if I share the screen real quick? And I can
no, not at all.
Feel what Paul
Please do.
Grabbed for us.
Yeah. Appreciate the heads up, Paul.
Paul doing work. He's the MVP of the night thus far.
It's Potluck Monday, everybody.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. I have seen them. Very cool.
All right. Keep an eye out for those.
Actually, hang on one second. Let's pull that up. Okay. Robert Merrill. He did the Yankees. He used to sing.
I'm digging Anna Mofo. That's a freaking rad name. I'm digging Anna Mofo's look and hair right there.
Yeah.
And Leontine, she looks pretty smooth. I've never heard of this band or these people, but
no, that's all individuals. That's not bad. Yeah, they're all individual singers. Robert Merrill used to sing the national anthem at Yankee games for years and years and years. Very cool. Yes.
Are you a Yankees fan or
I'm a Yankee? I'm a Met fan.
Mets.
I hate the Yankees.
Okay.
With a passion. I respect their history and the game and all, but you don't. It's funny if you ask any New Yorker, like it became in vogue, like in recent years, to say, "Oh, I root for both of them because they're both." No. Then you're not a fan of either if you root for both.
Those are the millennials, probably.
Yeah, all those punks, exactly.
Yeah, those kids.
Those punks, they don't know. Very cool, though. That's a good thing to look out for. I really appreciate that, Paul.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Super awesome.
And classical pieces you were saying as well, right? That's just like, it looks like that's just individual singers. But, I mean, they used to be like the Boston, I've seen albums with like the Boston Pop Symphony or something like that. And like I said, those are really cool to have in stereo. And I guess the viewpoint at that time was that warranted stereo because it was so big and large instead of being suppressed into mono. But that gets back to what I was saying earlier about instrumentation. You have a symphony, 50 pieces or whatever. It's going to sound much, much better than coming all out of one speaker.
Yeah.
Erica's a Met fan. Beautiful, man. Go. Beautiful.
Right there.
Yeah, I'm a fanatic. I mean, Tom Seaver was my idol. Just passed away about a year ago. And when Dwight Gooden first came up, I went to every single home start he made. And we used to travel. My friends and I used to travel around the country and go to see games when Gooden was pitching. Yep, 70s Mets, absolutely. Me too.
Did they tip you off when he was on the coke, or could you tell?
Oh, it was no. I'll tell you, that was a big thing. Gooden and Strawberry, right? They were the two guys that were like had the world. They were the best, and they should have been Hall of Fame bound, and they kind of ruined it with that stuff. It's a sin because they were so scarily talented.
He was ridiculous.
Oh, they were awesome.
I loved watching him. He was
Gooden he was
nuts.
Awesome. Yeah,
I love good pitching like that. I love.
Oh, he was so dominant.
Yeah,
he was so dominant. He was 19 years old when he came up. It was just amazing. And I think I was
that
like
kind
17.
of money. You're in the middle of New York. You may not have grown up in maybe the best environment.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he came from Tampa.
I mean, I can't blame him. That's what do you do?
Yeah, I
That's
guess the
tough.
temptation was just ridiculous. Plus, the quote unquote older guys who were like 32. It's funny, you thought they were old, but like Keith Hernandez and stuff, they weren't the
Lenny
best
Dykstra.
influence in Dyke. They weren't the best influence on these young. He was a teenager. He was literally 19 when he came up.
Yeah.
Chicago Symphony. Okay, cool. 500. Yeah, needless to say, and it has to have that same label, right, Paul? I guess we're gonna look for that.
Do a little worth point search here for that.
Yeah, that might warrant. Yeah, we're about at that time. Whenever you feel like firing up the worth point, we're always good. Always an option. I did too, Eric. They were just the cards I collected in school and stuff, and I don't, through time, like at that time when we were buying cards for 50 cents off an ice cream truck or whatever, like nobody thought that they would be collectible one day. Like, later on people were putting baseball cards in the little plastic holders and stuff. I used to play with my cards. We used to play games with them, like, and flip them in the air and all that stuff. So I have a whole bunch, but they're not in great condition. All have that label. Okay, cool. I will absolutely be on the lookout, and I appreciate you letting everybody know about it.
The Mets were good that one year, right? They're Miracle Mets. What was that?
69.
69.
Yeah. I don't remember that, but I remember 73 was the next time that was my first ball game was 73. It was Willie Mays Day. It was like
he was with the Mets.
Yeah, he came on to the late in his career. He came to the Mets in 73 and like helped them in the pennant push and stuff. So that was pretty cool. It was my first game.
Wow.
And now he's like 90 years old, which is just insane to think about.
Yeah, I'm a Giants fan, so
really?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
well, I don't remember 73, but I remember a number of very annoying games against the Mets, and what was it? Probably would have been 2001 or 2003 when we played you in the, I don't know, might have been divisional series. I don't remember what it was back then.
Yeah, sure. You like? I'm trying to think if you're like. You like Will Clark and those guys?
Yes,
your era. Clark, yeah, I figured you like
that's
that.
My guy, man. I'd play in the back with a wiffle ball and bat, and I'd toss that up, and I would. I'm not even left-handed, but I would completely just mimic Will the Thrill's just sweet stroke.
Yeah, he's a great hitter. Great hitter.
Paul's calling it here. Like, so Marty, if you'll share my
yeah, let's pull it up.
My work point there. Paul is pretty much just nailed. He's on point tonight. So
look at this. Here we go. Oh, you got a box set there. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago.
That's 10 years ago. Yeah. This is before records even came back.
Exactly. You could probably double that at this point. I wouldn't be surprised.
Let's see if like a single, like here's a single. That's a box. Let me see if I can find another single here.
I say Living Stereo Chicago Symphony. I'm going to actually, as you're doing that, I'm looking up on something else.
There you go. Look at that.
And that's like 5 years. Yeah, Paul, you absolutely nailed it.
Paul, what else you got for us? We're just taking notes here on Paul's train of bolos.
I love it. Absolutely love it. That's what it's all about. Helping each other out.
All right. So this guy lists this as unplayed. Now, how, as someone who barely understands how records work, but do own a record player, how does somebody go about listing something? This record is unplayed. Assuming I guess if he's the original owner, he can state that. He knows he's got
right.
What is it, promenade or whatever that is? But
yeah,
how would you, if you were picking up something at an estate sale, would you be able to look at something and say this has never been played?
You could. I don't know at the estate sale, but certainly when I got home, you could kind of tell there's markings that people look for on the records, and there's a whole grading system, a pretty complicated grading system involved with vinyl. Then there's a separate grading system for 78s, which predate vinyl. When the shellac records that were popular up until like the 40s, there's a separate grading system. But like based upon those grading systems, it's really hard to get a mint or a, unplayed, quote unquote. The only way to really know is if it's sealed, it hasn't been played. And You'll find some sealed records out there. Like, again, that looks, I can't.
That one's sealed.
It is okay, cool. So that one,
But even if it wasn't sealed, how many people, other than Paul, how many people would have known pick up this record called Spain?
I
now,
guess
I like stuff like that, but I still probably wouldn't pick it up.
But now we know that living stereo, that big old living stereo banner at the top. Basically, no matter what it is, I'm picking that up now.
Tracy's got a bigger death pile. She just realized.
Go through box of classical and opera box sets. Ooh, interesting. Yeah.
Maybe do a little an auction here, Tracy. Do you want to sell that box sight unseen to Paul? Set a number and maybe Paul will fire up. He said, "Just I'll take it sight unseen, but you can't pre-look."
Wow. Wheeling and dealing here tonight. Look at this.
Yeah. That's the potluck. That's potluck.
That's potluck. Never know what to expect.
It's probably illegal. Who knows?
No, please. I see
be
people
like a drop shipper.
They're always selling stuff on YouTube.
You get your cut.
Yeah. Of course, we get our finder's fee, but that's all right now. No,
yeah.
Only kidding, folks. So cool. Well, go look. There's another video for you, Tracy. Searching through your house for a pile of classical and opera.
Yeah. Tracy, just go film that live.
Video.
I mean,
crashing into stuff in the night. You know what I mean? The camera's just cats jumping out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's entertainment right there. That's entertainment.
Yeah.
You got to entertain the people.
Tracy, don't go digging through that. Put that baby on live like it's a Ghost Hunters episode.
There you go. Live. Yeah. Some sound effects.
Nice.
Yeah. Blair Witch Project kind of thing.
I think,
they definitely do.
You guys watched Auction Professor. He's definitely done a number of LP type grading, identification, what to pick up, what to not.
He's a phenomenal resource for everything and a great guy. And yes, absolutely. I highly recommend you go visit Auction Professor's site. He has a whole bunch of records, videos on records, absolutely, including the 78s that I mentioned. I know he plays in that arena he's a big player in that arena. 78s, do you ever have a 78 record?
I don't even know what that, I've heard the term. I'm sorry.
It's just 78.
Let me do the whipping post here. Go ahead. And what's a 78?
78 RPM. You know, a record is 33 and a third, right? 45 is a single. 78's it's 78 revolutions per minute. It was the style of record for years prior to the long play or the 33 and a third. It was like and they're literally made out of shellac. They're thicker than a typical record. Okay. They're thicker, they're heavy, but they are so incredibly fragile.
Are they hard? Like really hard?
Yep. Okay. I have it. I'll bring one over. And Paul's chiming in good. Paul? He's big in 78s. Yes, he is. I have quite a few. I've sold some. He's great at identifying, you just said sight unseen. Like he'll thumb through, because a lot of people have 78s and they're not always in the best condition. They usually just kind of stack together and you kind of just thumb through and Don's great at identifying rare labels. That's the stuff that sells, or funky, one-off records from little blues guys from 1922 that nobody's heard of. That's the stuff that's really valuable. The very popular guys, it's cool to have, but they're popular for a reason. That means they were mass produced. And that's kind of the golden rule for everything, right? If it's mass produced, it's not going to be super valuable usually, like Bing Crosby, White Christmas. I mean, but to have that on a 78 is kind of cool if it's an original versus having it on CD from a few years ago. It's cool to have it. It's probably more money than that would be.
So when did the 78s kind of get phased out?
I think, and Paul, correct me, I think maybe the early 50s is when they sort of became less in vogue because the LP came in, vinyl as a product came in. Because again, the bad thing on the 78s were that they were so fragile, incredibly fragile. I've broken them trying to wash them. And when I say break, it doesn't just shatter. It's you could if you push too hard on one side, it'll just flake off. A whole piece will just break off. It's incredible.
Wow.
Literally, it's made of shellac. I'll grab a few if you haven't seen them, just so you can see what one looks like. Eric has a bunch. Hang on one second. Let me grab a couple. I do too, Tracy. Hang on one second.
I love collecting Christmas LPs, Tracy. They're not 78s, but I'm a sucker for those. I love Bing Crosby and Burl Ives and Frank Sinatra. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all that kind of stuff. So I pick them up at estate sales. They're usually left over there for me to get to, and they're usually like $1 or $2. And I don't know enough I'll look at it, and unless it looks like the back of a Wii game that has been played 6,000 times, I'll usually pick it up.
Oh, I was pretty close. Paul says mid-50s. Right. Yeah, they transitioned from shellac.
Marty, I think you got I mean, if you want to ever have hey, we're going to talk about records tonight. I think you got a guy.
We got a ringer here. We got a ringer.
He'll make you look really smart.
This is a 78.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the light's probably reflecting off of it.
Can you break it so I can see the
Yeah, sure, I'd be happy to. Now this one's actually up for sale, and it's a Mercury is the record label.
Okay.
Can you see?
Now, did they come with sleeves at all, or you sell, or like just like that?
They do. It depends on where you got them from. I find a bunch like this, like I said, literally sitting in a box, and you could see
I've seen stacks like that. So that's
stacks of them. I went ahead and I picked up. You can buy these on eBay or whatever. They're just lined, record things. They're specifically made for 10. They're 10 inches, as opposed to
bigger.
12.
Are they wider than your standard LP?
They're actually a little bit shorter. They're 10 inches as opposed to 12, and a 45 is a 7-inch. So it's kind of a hybrid. It's right in the middle, and they play at 78 RPM. So you need a machine that's capable of playing at 78 RPM, which is harder to find nowadays.
Yeah, my machine only plays 33 and 45.
This one's kind of cool, and these are all up for sale, by the way, folks. This is like a little box set, Songs of Hawaii. It's all 78s. And they come housed in this cool, like, booklet here.
Nice.
And the individual 78s are in here. And it's all like the hula song and stuff like that. Very, very cool. But yeah, you can find these dirt cheap too. They're not expensive usually.
Is it hard to scratch those than a regular LP? Is it easier?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the scratchability yeah, the cover, yeah. The artwork. And like this one I just showed, Paul. I think that's kind of cool. This little box, the Hawaiian Songs of Hawaii. It's really done well. It's like a hard cardboard cover. But I have I don't know.
I want to follow Paul to an estate sale and just kind of, shadow him and watch what he picks up and watch what he leaves behind. And I think I'll know everything. Yeah.
Do you sell them, Paul? Do you sell records as a business? Just curious. Or you're just a fan? Louis Armstrong, something, yeah. All the major artists, it was the format for a good chunk of time. All the way back to, and again, Paul, please correct me. I know that Thomas Edison, believe it or not, there are Edison discs. And they are, when I tell you thick, they're like 1/4 of an inch thick. They're like incredibly thick. I had a few of them. You'll see it says Edison Records on it from like 1890. Foxtrot was a very popular type of thing. The Foxtrot and the ragtime records and stuff like that. You could find some of them. You sell records. Okay, cool. Do you sell on what's that? I'm sorry.
Here's a Louis Armstrong on Worth Point just from 10 years ago. 78.
Wow. Okay. See, I have that label. Okay, or whatever. OKH. I have a bunch of records on that label.
Well, give me one. Give me one that you know. I'll look it up here.
One that I know. You want to look at? Let's see if the Hawaiian one comes up. You want to look up that one?
Hawaiian Dreams, is that what it was?
I'll put it up. Songs of Hawaii on Capitol Records. Harry Owens and his Royal Hawaiians. Yeah, that is cool, right, Paul? Thanks.
Maybe I don't know how to spell Hawaii. No, I actually did it right.
Paul, are you big on Discogs too? Do you sell on Discogs? Discogs, if anybody doesn't know, an amazing site. It's really like a database. It's a great place to go to look for records and look for the history of records and the millions of variations that there are. But you can also buy and sell. It's a marketplace. We have quite a few records up. There it is, up there. Up, go up. I saw it. Go back up. Yep, and that row. Nope, up. Up,
That's down.
Down. Let's go slow. No, now go down slow. It's on the far right.
Yeah,
keep
this
going
guy?
down. Go down. One more.
Oh, here. No, here.
Nope.
Oh,
nope.
okay.
To the right. Go down. Nope. Keep going down. Scroll down the webpage, please. Down from there.
There.
Nope. Right there. Right there.
Well, there was 3 of them. There's that
$15.
one.
Woo!
And there's that
Hey,
one.
that was 10 years ago.
Yeah. I think
That's
you can
all right.
set
It's
the
just,
market now.
I paid like literally 50 cents for it. That's the great thing is that you can buy them for dirt cheap. And people often don't know what they have.
Like you're saying, I think you find like a bunch of them just stacked together.
Exactly. And I'll I've seen a million videos of people that say, I'll buy them all, whatever. You literally just do that. And the guys are usually happy to get rid of them because they've been sitting in somebody's, in a box somewhere for 50 years and grandma wants to get rid of them. Yeah, Paul, I highly suggest Discogs is great.
Tracy's got a listing here.
Okay, cool.
On eBay. Well, it's not.
I actually have a video, Paul, if you want to check. I have a video on like kind of basics on how to sell. And I'd be happy to answer any questions if you need help with it. How to sell on Discogs. Whoa.
You do have a video for that?
On Discogs, I do. Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of how to sell on Discogs. Very high level, basic, but I don't think there's some videos out there. And again, Don, I think, has touched on it a few times. But I don't know if he ever did an actual like lesson, quote unquote.
So
and again, I'd be happy to go into more detail.
Versus eBay. What would make you do one or the other?
Well, Discogs is exclusively records, CDs, 78s. It's a community, and it's really, like I said, it's a marketplace, but it's really a resource. A lot of people use it to research, to sell on eBay, to sell anywhere they want. It's a database. It has almost everything ever recorded. Not everything, but a good chunk of all recorded music is out there. It's a very vibrant community. It's almost like going to, they have like stamp clubs or they have like sites that just specialize in stamps. It's that thing for records. It's the equivalent for records.
The people there are like aficionados. They
pretty much. And with that, there's a little snobbishness sometimes. The people think that, I literally had somebody write, I remember when I first joined it, this isn't eBay. You can't get away with just writing. Like they get into minutia about catalog IDs and what's called the matrix numbers. You have to really know what you're doing to an extent, because if you don't, you'll get clobbered, publicly. Somebody will come out of the woodwork and say, that is not a 1921, that's a 1922. And it was in June, not May. Like they're very, very particular.
Oh, yeah.
Which is okay. I mean, I like that. I like learning about it. I really do.
Would you get a higher price there or?
Comparable. Yeah, it depends. Okay. Like everything, like we keep saying, it kind of depends on the uniqueness of your item, Like there was, the Eagles' greatest hits is always going to sell. It was like one of the most popular albums ever. You could sell it on Discogs, you could sell it on eBay. But these one-off wacky records and stuff that you can kind of only find, once in a blue moon is a really good. Going to Discogs is a great place to look for the history of it. It gets into some really deep detail.
Do you think the Discogs lookers wouldn't go to eBay also? And
no, I'm sure they would. In fact, they'd probably be on the hunt because they would assume that the eBay seller doesn't know what they're doing. So they would probably look for,
so there might be resellers. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. People often talk about going on eBay to source because some people don't know what they're doing. And if they're in a certain niche, they go into eBay to look like postcards. I know a lot of people buy postcards, big lots or something on eBay.
I've not had much luck sourcing on eBay to resell.
Yeah, I haven't really. Can't think of any times I've actually tried. I think I did with a couple of records, honestly. Nothing crazy. Like it wasn't like, oh, the suckers that they're selling it for 10 that's worth 1,000, but like maybe like double my money a couple times, like 20 to 40 or something. I've done that a few times.
Yeah, what do you got, Eric?
Yeah, bring it on, Eric. Here we go.
There's not a single word other than night in there that I can pronounce.
that we can pronounce, let alone spell.
All right. Here we go. Oh, am I sharing? I'm not. Just a sec. That's the top listing there, Eric. and obviously it's 7 years old at this point, or 6.5 years, but it's a pretty nice find if it sold for 50 in 2015.
Yeah. Is that the one you have, Eric? That's exactly it. Yeah, look at that.
What a cool cover, man.
It is a cool cover. And Eric, that's a great example. Like, it's not a common record. You know, like that's the kind of stuff you want to find, like cool, unique things like that.
Look, it also hits a couple other things. You got, I'm guessing 60s, and then you've got a skeleton on a harmonica, but you have a skeleton. So
instant coolness.
Yeah, you cross genres of who would want something like that for display, maybe not listen.
Yeah, so true.
Anybody else? While I got Worth point up, anybody else want some look-sees?
Exotica, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop the share and I'm gonna look that up. And then if it's okay, I might pull one up here. Let's see.
That's hysterical.
I trust Paul. Don't steer us. Don't get us blacklisted, Paul.
Yeah, good idea taking it off the share screen. I have to get a dual monitor set up here. When we're doing live shows like this and I have to look at something, I always find myself going like this because I can't see my screen because my camera's in the way.
You need like a big, we need like a big, like NASA type two-way screen.
We do. Satellite, yeah. We do. We need, not want, we need.
All right. I don't know if this is Exotica. I'm for science. I'm looking at all the covers just to make sure
exactly.
I'm getting it right. Yeah. I have seen some covers of, there's like a famous one. I don't know if it's famous, and here I am having next to zero knowledge of LPs, but speaking of classical records that might be left on a day 2 or day 3 of an estate sale, I see this one all the time, and I have purchased it because I just love the cover. Something that's like Beethoven with whipped cream or something like that, and I'd call it. It's a nice picture. I wish I had more information then. Right now, I just sound like a punk.
No, you don't. There's a very famous Herb Alpert record, which we have in our store, which I will show you in a second. Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass.
All right, here's one. I don't know if this is what Paul's talking about, but it certainly looks like a good find if you can see, if you pick this up. They use the word cheesecake in it, so.
Okay.
The Anatomy of Dancing. Yeah, 10 years ago, yep. $225.
Very cool. Hang on one second. I'm going to show you. This is a very famous record that we have up.
Whipped yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
When you said about the cream, I figured that was the one. Yeah.
Whipped cream by
it's pretty common, but
I don't know if Beethoven was, and I definitely knew about the whipped cream.
Definitely not Beethoven. That would be Herb Alpert, who did A Taste of Honey famously. Yeah, exactly. Lounge music.
Is that your listing?
Yeah, that's my listing.
Okay. Yeah, I have that same.
Okay, cool.
I probably had a couple copies of that.
Yeah, it comes up. I see this all the time in various various states of condition. Yeah, yes. Very popular. Very popular. And you hit all the right words too, Paul, like, lounge music, Exotica. Yeah, that's all the kind of stuff that this would fall into. And you're right. Some people just buy it literally just for the cover and put it up on a wall. Herb Alpert and the whipped cream. Yes, he did.
Now, maybe not Herb Alpert in the whipped cream.
No. Perish the thought. Who wants to see Herb Alpert in the?
I don't know who he is, but I don't.
I do, and guaranteed you don't. Yeah, I just put a link in there for you if you want to take a look.
I already queued it up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, check it out. And again, I could get I always like kind of do these high level videos initially, and then if people have interest in learning more about a specific topic, if I know about it, I'm happy to expand. Or do like like with the print ad thing, it wound up being like one video, and then I'm like, oh, I'll do a series on it.
I'm enjoying that series.
Cool,
I think you
appreciate
did a great job on there.
Thank you.
What was it? The last one that you threw some like Charlie Chaplin or something up there?
Yeah. Yeah. I looked for that free. What is it called? Not duty free. What is it called? Royalty free or whatever videos that are past the start. Yeah. And I figured I could get away with that.
That's something you could just play nonstop and never get a copyright strike.
Supposedly, yeah. Supposedly. Okay. Yeah. I think the music, like it depends on what, you have the video component, you have a musical component. So if somebody puts music in that is copyrighted, you can wind up getting a ding. But luckily I wasn't dinged on that one.
Here's
sometimes they'll let you add something and then you just have to put a credit in the description, music by so-and-so.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And they'll let you do it. And then they get a cut if let's say your video does get 1 million views or something, they'll get some money from it.
Well, hell, I'd be happy about that. I mean,
so would I. Exactly. Me too.
I bet people are just too lazy typically to put a credit. I did see you did credit it in.
I did just in case. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure to cover myself because it said royalty free, but I'm like, you know what? I looked it up and that's what it was. Yes. Northern Soul, White Eyed Soul, whatever. Right?
Well, you got dinged on a countdown music.
That drove me, the very first show, and I had to, just ridiculous. It's not easy. That's why I'd rather make my own things. Like, it's not that hard.
Why are you stealing other people's countdown music?
I specifically looked up, and I'm sure anybody out there that's a YouTuber has done this. You look up like free, royalty-free YouTube video to use in videos, whatever, or countdowns, and it said it was royalty-free, so I threw it in there, and very first live show, but thank God you have the ability to go in and edit it. It gives you like a chance. It's like, it puts a little timeline and it's all red and it says, here's the incriminating piece of music. And it was just my intro, like literally a minute. And it says, do you want to delete this? So I just deleted it and now it's fine. But it's a pain in the neck. Some of that stuff it seems so petty. Like, you got to be kidding me. Just like incidental background music. It's not a tune, it's not like a famous song. It's not Herb Alpert. I could see if I had Herb Alpert playing.
Yeah, of course. They'd probably come to your house, kick the door down, and then burn you alive. But it's not Herb Alpert, so that I don't understand.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, there's 3 videos up right now. There was like an introduction, and then there's 2 proper, lessons, if you will. The third one's probably coming out tomorrow about listing them. But please take a look.
Now, Marty, I want to tell you what kind of nerd I am as I was watching the Charlie Chaplin.
Yes.
2 things came about that. One, I left that video saying I need to watch some more Charlie Chaplin. So I think you did him a favor. The second thing, though, is because
he needed
it. How nerdy I am is I'm like, I would actually enjoy watching how the scanner works and seeing these all fed through there. That's honestly what I wanted to see.
Yeah, I that's why I kind of.
So you tore my soul apart. You tore it apart.
What do I do? Where do I keep my eyes focused?
Yeah.
No, that's scanner. I'll tell you, and that was on 400 DPI. I could load that up with the ads that I did in that video. They were small enough that they fit perfectly in there. The Life magazine, which is the lion's share of the stuff we have, is way too big, and that's why I got that big old flatbed, which I'll probably show in another video. But I have an 18-inch. It's like 18 by 12 monster thing for like blueprints and drafts and stuff, and it works out perfectly for those.
Does your flatbed have a duplex unit that you can put on top so that you can feed those through that across?
Can't feed them. It's 1 by 1. Okay. So it's a little more time, but it's still, again, the quality, to me, it's just time well spent. I think I touched on that in when I'm talking about them. Like, you could just theoretically, you could just take a phone and take a picture of them. I see a lot of people do that, but they're crooked. They're like angled wrong. Like I said the other day, they're sitting on somebody's floor. They just look lousy. And I think the presentation is so important. With everything. But
by the way, that the video where you talked about the blow dryer.
Yeah.
You didn't show it.
I figured the act of running a blow dryer was something that most people could grasp.
It's not something I've dealt with a lot. That and the staples were already out, and I'm like, show me how to get the staples out without killing yourself and get the tetanus shot. That could be a couple shorts since you're already in your series.
Exactly.
Blow
dryer 101. Plug in blow dryer. Power up blow dryer. face blow dryer towards glue. No, you're right. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea with the staples.
Tracy,
Actually,
that poster's 1958. That's not a reproduction.
Yeah, 58. He was probably long out of the game by then.
Tough gong.
Tough gong label. Okay. Oh, reggae, sure, yeah. Especially if it's early, non-Bob Marley, which is hard to find, right?
I didn't know there was anybody but Bob Marley.
I know. Oh, everybody's a critic. Now Tracy's saying, why didn't you show the stuff?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
No, Tracy's got my back.
Right.
Yeah. We're coming at you. Your video is fantastic, but it could be better.
It could be so much better. You got to handhold these people sometimes. I understand. I welcome the criticism.
You're like a print ad Jedi Knight, but remains to be seen if you're like a print ad Jedi Master.
All right.
So let's do a short. Let's see how it looks.
Okay. Coming your way. We will have a short on staple removing and blow drying.
Yeah. Now, if you do get if you get some kind of infection from one of those archaic staples, it was Tracy who really sealed the deal for you to go do this.
This is true. This is true. Cue up the music. That's what friends are for.
Yeah. So what? Any good sales this week?
Nothing like that sticks out. Consistent and steady, but nothing like crazy. I didn't have like one day that jumped off the charts or anything spectacular. We're still selling some of that stuff I told you about last week, the office equipment.
Yeah.
Like I sold a guy was so excited about a keyboard. It's funny, things that you think are like so mundane. It was like a Microsoft keyboard when Windows 95 came out.
So like a PS2 or something like that?
No, it's just a Windows. It was a regular Windows keyboard, but it says like designed for Windows 95 or something on it. And I guess the younger
Windows button there.
Yeah, exactly. And it had like the little sticker on there. And it was a good condition. The guy and again, I'm thrilled that he bought it. And I'm thrilled that he loved it. But he was like so overboard. I've been looking for this thing, and it was just sitting in a box here. Yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah, I know, right? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. I thought that'd be pretty common, but he lost his mind, and it's funny. He just wrote me today, as a matter of fact, one of the feedbacks I got today. So happy to get this. It was shipped great.
Awesome.
And he was out in Oregon, which again for me is like polar opposite. But that was probably like,
and keyboards aren't cheap to ship, even
because of the size. Right? Exactly, the size, pain in the neck, and very few boxes can accommodate the length of it. Like they're this thin, keyboard, right? It's tiny. But my goodness, you're right.
Did you take 2 of those priority mail and Frankenstein those things together?
I did not. I did a Franken box, but it was not a priority mail. It was just one of my eBay boxes. I did exactly. That's what I did. Frankenstein. Okay. And kudos to Dominic, by the way. Dom, the primetime treasure hunter. He had a video about that, about how to do the Frankenstein boxes. I remember seeing that like a year ago. I do it all the time now. I mean, it's almost mandatory for some of these items. You just can't get it in any other way.
Be careful, man. That's how you get tennis and golf elbow. That's what happened to me after a year of doing ridiculous box resizing and taping.
Really? Tennis elbow?
Yeah. It's been brutal. For a year I've had that. But I chalk it up to, running that box resizer at odd angles. Yeah. Did that a lot. Yeah. So
you're probably right.
Your elbow, man. But,
That's true.
But you're right, though. I need a poster in my office that says everything I learned about reselling, I learned from Dom and Don.
That's hysterical. Do you really?
No, I need one. They need to.
I thought you said you have one.
Yeah. Can we make that? Can we make that and sell it on your channel instead of theirs and just not?
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah,
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I don't think that either one of them would have any problem with it either.
If we say Dom and Don, there's no guarantee it's the same people.
That's right.
Right.
I'm talking about Dom DiMaggio, and I'm talking about Don Wells. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Don Wells. Yeah,
the
great Don Wells.
The great Don Wells, the one and only.
Man, was he in whipped cream that one time?
Oh, let's hope not. Tracy needs to make a T-shirt. You should have a T-shirt or something, Tracy. Something cool, something fun, cats on it and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more cat videos.
There's not enough cat videos out there.
Well, there are. I mean, that's how the internet started.
That's probably funny.
Not a lot of cat reseller videos.
Not a lot of cat reseller. That's right. I'm serious though. I think that's another good video idea for Tracy. Go find those. What'd you say you had 78s or records or whatever? Just take a tour of the house. You know, I would turn all the lights off for dramatic effect. Maybe a flashlight. You know what I mean? Camera following. Make it very dramatic
on an old handy cam or whatever.
Yeah.
Again, you get that horror crowd. Like, what else might be in there? What kind of ghost might be lurking in that barn of yours?
Exactly.
Tracy, you're not getting made fun of. We just want more.
What are friends for?
What you've offered. Yeah. What are friends for?
No, I really think it would be cool. I'd watch that. Oh boy.
All right. Well, you got any other? Let's see.
Is there anything else we want to look up?
I do want to. Yeah, I talked about that scanner because I did go to your links that you provided last time.
Cool.
Okay. Added. Oh, and your cutting board or whatever that was.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be like, oh god, how am I going to spend $200 on this thing? No, what was it, like $30 or something?
Yeah, it wasn't very expensive. It's just very hard to find. Like my wife and I would go to like Michael's and Joanne Fabric, you know, those places that sell that stuff, and they were all like 12-inch max. And you know, usually that's more than enough. But again, my Life magazine's 15 inches lengthwise, and I just couldn't find anything. So that thing is all those things I put in there, I literally use every day.
It was interesting to see that on the video because before you showed that, in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, how do you prevent that magazine from coming up as soon as you cut and just shit, you know, breaking the whole thing as you cut down? But it is like butter.
Yeah, it really is. And it's another video I was thinking of doing. It's not a video, maybe it's another short, but there's a very cheap free way, well, cheap and free. If you have tin foil in your house, like just aluminum foil, believe it or not, if you put, what's that?
Like hats?
No, aluminum foil, like an actual aluminum, you know, regular aluminum foil that we'd use. Get a sheet of aluminum foil and put it in just like you saw me put the sheet in, and run the blade over that a couple of times. It sharpens it like instantly. It's incredible. Yep, and it's amazing. Like instantly, it's like new again. And I use this thing every single day. I see pumpkins already.
Oh, I thought that was $100 super chat from Tracy.
Bummer.
What
friends for?
Come on, Tracy.
That's cool.
Skulls.
That's really cool. 100 various skulls. That's cool too. I wonder, are they like different
big
colors?
Halloween people, Tracy? Is that kind of your holiday? Would you say? Usually, I meet a Halloween person, maybe a July 4th person, or a Christmas person. I haven't met an Arbor Day person or anything like that.
No,
but those are the three main ones. We're Christmas people. What about you, Marty?
Yeah, Christmas for sure. I love Halloween though too. I do. I like it's a lot of fun decorations. My friend Annie, I know
energy. Oh yeah, she's a witch.
My friend Annie, she's up in Salem, and I know she's a fan of that kind of stuff too. Miss Annie, I wish you were here. She was on a couple times with us. She must be busy.
She's working on like Spotify video series.
She is. Go check out Annie's channel. Great channel.
I feel like I think she's talking, and I think people should watch that if they're interested in branching out. I still feel like Spotify is more for, you know, maybe retail product or things you have a number of that are the same.
Shopify, you mean?
What am I saying? Spotify?
You're saying Spotify, yeah. Shopify.
I'll just shut up now. But yeah.
No.
President's Day, Eric? Sure you are. I love a good President's Day. I don't get that day off, but anybody that has any kind of federally related type job sure does.
Absolutely.
Rachel's got a good question there for you.
Okay.
She'd probably like to buy them so she can flip them. That's her thing.
Where did I get all those amazing estate sales? Isn't that a cool background though? I really like that background. Oh, we have another lookup request.
All right. Let me get this Exotica LP off my screen. Again, for science.
Science.
Again, all right. Holy mackerel. Tracy, do you have one of these?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that was called a tease right there. That was me reacting live to something no one else has seen yet.
Genuine reaction. Speaking of reactions, I wish I could find what I'm looking for.
What is this, a board game?
Can I bring it up? You ready?
Do it, yeah.
Okay.
All the Exotica's gone.
Whoa! Mattel Gregory.
This is for 3 of them. Hold up. This is for 3, but don't worry. There's plenty of, I think, just ones. With rare box. Wow! 2 exclamations. Some fantastic SEO there, but it got the job done.
It got the job done.
Yeah. So that's only 2 years old there. $800. Take a look at that bat. Look at that. You can see his victim's blood down there.
That is insane.
Tracy, you got one of those? Okay, so you got one loose. Good find, though. I mean, wow. Did you know what it was when you picked that up, Tracy? Let's find a loose one. Here's a loose one. Oof. Look at that. Tracy, go back and get it from the person you sold it to, and then resell it again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Excellent idea.
Man, that is cool.
It is kind of cool.
It's a little sick, a little nasty.
I'm intrigued by these skulls. What, like,
yeah, what skulls?
Are they like, yeah, are they commercially available skulls? Are they, yeah, exactly. Various skulls. Like, is it like,
are there people buried around the outside of your barn that you probably shouldn't be talking about on the internet?
Yeah. Shh. Can't bring that up. That's so cool.
But that's how you learn, right? You pick up something you already got a hunch about.
Yeah.
And you get a good sale for it. You get a nice return on investment, and you feel pretty good about it. And then some jerk on some show pulls it up and shows all the missed money you don't have. And then you become hardened, and you recalibrate for next time.
That's for sure.
Tons of them. Okay. Do people come out to your barn to check that out? Yeah, nice. I think we learned a little bit about them.
That's hysterical.
We'll be careful to we definitely won't make fun of you guys now.
No.
Nope.
I even put a link up just for that.
Yeah, good call. I would put it up. I'm going to put it up again.
Self-preservation, yeah.
In case you missed it the first time, really check these guys out.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, speaking of feedback, you had mentioned feedback earlier.
Yes.
Eric talked about some of the people he's killed who did not leave good feedback, which I totally get.
Yeah.
I got my first neutral feedback today.
Ooh. Tell us about it.
Let me take you through this story. A while back, we went to an estate sale, and I bought, this lady collected Nordstrom soap.
Okay.
And they were sealed. These are just a soap bar. And they were, peach and apricot and whatever other fruits there are that I can't currently name, but a lot of different ones. Right. Individually wrapped. They were asking $1 a piece for them. There were no comps because, it's soap. But people do buy soap, by the way. Soap they can't find anymore. And that's what has happened since I purchased it.
Okay.
I ended up paying 25 cents per bar. I bought like 200 bars of soap.
Wow.
And slowly been selling them since then. So I've had some big chunks of sales of soaps, and then I have a little onesie twosie every once in a while. So
Yep.
I did have a buyer and I have volume pricing on it. So
Okay.
and it's a variant listing. So all 4 flavors are available, and you can see how many are available on a single page.
Okay.
Multiple variant or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they bought 2. They got the discount. It turned out to be like $5.98 plus, I don't know, $3 shipping or something. I shipped it out, packaged them well. I not bubble wrapped them, but poly bubble mailer.
Yep.
I mean, it's soap, but I sent it out, and there was no problem with that. But I got neutral feedback, and I got no contact from the person. And let's see, I don't know. Let's see if I can do it without. No, I'm not gonna. I'll just. Yeah, I don't want to share the name or anything, so I'll just kind of just paraphrase.
Okay.
And keep in mind, these soaps are probably 20 years old, 15, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that this is like somebody's favorite soap ever, probably.
Yeah.
But the thing was neutral feedback. The soaps don't smell as good as I remember when I used to get them. I've looked at other soaps and I've run into the same problem with them. And it's, I don't know, frustrating for the most part. Okay, so that's paraphrasing. I think I got the sentiment across. And I'm like, man, is that my fault? So, of course, my dander's raised right away and I want to respond.
Right.
I'm like, really?
First of all, yeah.
Sorry, your 20-year-old soap doesn't smell quite as good as it did in your mind 20 years ago. Okay. Yep. So I waited all day, and I'm like, I am going to respond to this, and I love the newest eBay feature that allows you to reply into into the stream of your feedback.
Yep.
So I have heard a number of times, Dom does it really well. He talks, take the high road, right?
Yeah.
And this is, first off, this is like a double win for me, at least in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
A neutral feedback does not impact your performance or your score.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, there's no threat of that. And I will also say that Griff on the eBay Business Podcast weekly, he's also talked about how he welcomes a negative feedback because it's an opportunity to take the high road and respond in the stream so other people see that.
Yeah.
And it also it's a lesson learned, right? Mm-hmm. It can be a lesson learned.
Yeah, so it can be.
Taking that into consideration, I went ahead and responded to the person saying, hey, I understand essentially that you have an affinity and a nostalgia for this soap. Some of the soaps I sell are, 20 years old. And, I'm sorry, I can empathize with you about this, which is exactly why I have 100%, free return on everything. So, reach out to me and let me take care of you. And something along the lines of, the aroma, I may not be able to, give you the aroma back that you're looking for, but hopefully I can give you back a smile or something along those lines. So that's in the stream.
Cheesy but effective. I like it.
Yeah. I like empathy. To do a little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then I'm a little bit, and since it's not a negative, I'm not going to reach out. And I did reach out to her and we corresponded, but I didn't ask her to modify the feedback or change it because
interesting. Okay.
I do feel like this is actually a good opportunity. It's not a negative. A good opportunity for that to be on file. So when people are checking my feedback, they're going to see that neutral. And they're going to scroll down. What's this neutral? But they're going to see that, I responded with tact. And I was willing to help out. And I feel like that's almost better advertisement than just another cut and pasted thing. So I don't know. I just kind of wanted to share that, to keep that in mind for if something happens like that to you.
No, that's great advice, actually. And you're right. It's an opportunity to kind of defend yourself to one extent, but also, like you said, take the high road and show that this is how we handle things in our store. This is how we handle and satisfaction is, 100% satisfaction is what we strive for at all times. And did you say that in the end she wound up writing you back and forth a little bit? You got like some correspondence?
Yeah, she appreciates. I sent her an email with basically the same content.
Yeah.
And said, I don't know if eBay even alerts you if I reply to your feedback. So I wanted to make sure you saw this and wanted to make sure I'm willing to, offer you a refund or whatever, because I'm not going to make her ship back an $8 item or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I would just refund her. But she didn't want that. And she said she appreciated me caring. And, that was it. But at 8 a.m. this morning when I got it,
oh, you were ready to kill.
World of difference. And I'm glad I didn't type it then. So that would be the other thing, is just wait 8 hours.
That's all. Let it stew. Yep.
Yeah, have a couple meals.
I forgot who said this, but somebody said something really cool. Like, write out you're lashing out at them. Write it out, but don't hit send. Like, just get it all out. Write it.
That's too dangerous, man.
Nasty as you want. I know it is. And then just kind of like take a breath, look at it, and say,
yes,
and then delete it, and then
write. That's called corporate email exchange server systems. Yeah, that's definitely. Well, you want to be careful with those now, because
you're right.
I've seen some bad emails that somebody should have done that exact technique you just referenced, and
and
oops, sideways from there. Yeah. But that's the mentality. Write it out, get it out of your mind. Yeah, and then move on. That's a
very good piece of information there. Hey, Rachel, how are you?
And thank you, Rachel.
Rachel. Dinner cooking is on the stove as we speak, probably, right? Can you? Oh no, you're doing the vegan, not vegan. You're doing the paleo thing.
I almost said pedo, but that's something different. Not doing that.
No, paleo.
Paleo. Yeah. Keto. That's the ticket. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Can't wait to see.
She's firing up some grub right now as we speak.
It's probably protein. It's probably a serious lack of carbs.
Protein cooked in incredibly huge amounts of butter and lard.
Fat, lard. Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe that's
got dinner going. There you go. Tracy, again, you intrigue me here. Hold on. Let me go back for a minute. Motivational interviewing skills.
Wow.
Care to expand upon that? Expound upon that, if you will. Got to hear what this is. It's probably some technique she learned.
Motivational interviewing. Interesting. So, I mean, like, is she motivating the person she's interviewing?
Yeah, I got to hear this. I got to hear more about this. I really do. We have all the time in the world. Don't worry, Tracy. Don't rush. I'm only kidding.
Yeah, this isn't live, Tracy.
No. No, but that's seriously, that was a really good thing to bring up like that. It's the reality, unfortunately, of how people react sometimes, and you can't really anticipate. I would never have even dreamed. You think it's common sense with an item like a soap. It's not going to smell as strong as it did 20 years ago. It's kind of common sense, but never presume that, I guess.
Yeah.
Therapy counseling
technique that we are trained in from our real job. Huh.
Is it just empathy?
It's possible that at least one of us on screen right now could probably use a good dose of therapy counseling.
At least one of us.
So maybe one day one or two of us could go on Tracy's show, and
there you go.
We can find out and what
yes,
and just kind of bare ourselves.
Tracy needs to do a show first.
That's Paul. Look at Paul.
Paul chiming in. Hold on.
Hold up. Paul's
vintage motivational records. That is so cool. I've never come across anything like a salesman material on a record. How cool is that?
Oh, Tracy, I know. Okay, I know what she's talking about now. That's. Oh yeah. No,
okay, sure.
I may have done that. I may have been involved in some of that. Also, being a parent, you sometimes
on a daily basis.
You kind of have to tie that straw around a little bit so that you can come back the other side and get what you want out of them, but not full on manipulation. You want to inception them, kind of
like planting a seed in their mind to make them think differently, or
sway them. It's really about empathizing and letting them hear you empathize, because what that does is it it immediately diffuses
Yeah.
any kind of ire or
Yeah.
angst they've got.
Yeah.
Because you have just allowed them to see that you understand. And so it just kind of diffuses situations. It's
The
great in
guard comes
bar.
down. Yeah.
No, it's not great. But
Subliminal
wow.
tapes. My God, you people are. Where do you find this stuff? Oh, Dale Carnegie, sure. Yes, Dale Carnegie. Very cool.
So Dale, you got he's got some cool. I'm interested in seeing what he's got, and Tracy and Eric got everything under the moon. But yeah, some cool stuff. I like
cool.
all that stuff.
Yeah, I think again, unique. Tracy and I talk about this often about, trying to be unique with things, and this is a great example. I wouldn't think there's a lot of competition out there for that type of stuff, which is great. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe there's a million.
Tracy should sell some interview one-on-one Zoom meetings on eBay and see if anybody will buy those, and they can just talk to her and find out about it.
Really cool.
We found some cool ephemera. I mean, kind of speaking of pamphlets there, it's not uncommon ephemera, but I was able to pick up, I think I got 30 or so playbills.
Oh, cool.
From the 60s, like
nice.
Hello Dolly, Man of La Mancha, some Liberace, just a number of ones. And I probably paid $60 total for 30 of them. So that's not a stupendous deal, but I also know from the past that almost any playbill from that era, some a long tail, will go for $15 minimum, and there's some that go for way more, just depending on if it meant something to the buyer. So that was a fun pickup. They're really cool to look at too.
Yeah, they are. It's kind of like the sheet music thing almost. It's almost like runs parallel with sheet music. Same thing, same principle. Like, such great artwork, especially those really, really old ones. They're done so well. I still have a stack of sheet music I have to list, as a matter of fact. We got deal of the century. It was a Facebook marketplace. Again, my wife, kudos to my wife, found on Facebook Marketplace some older lady.
You don't have to give her kudos. We know she's pretty much the brains behind this.
She's really, let's be honest. But no, but she's got a keen eye for stuff like this. We had just I think we were watching the Auction Professor talking about vintage sheet music. I'm like, we happen to have some from I think a lot of people have, if you ever had an organ when you were a kid or took piano lessons, that, you have a bench for the piano. When you lifted it up, there was always Baba Black Sheep or whatever,
that's a good reminder. If you go to a estate sale, and you see a bench,
absolutely open that bench up. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stole my thunder, but that's okay. No, but that is great.
Man, I thought you were
No, you're right. You're absolutely. I was going to just say that because she found the first ones at an estate sale in a piano bench. But you're right. And then on Facebook, she's like, I'm just going to start searching. This old lady, long story short, had a box. It was billed as 100. She said a lot of 100 vintage sheet music, various, very, very generic description of it. She didn't get into any kind of detail. One photo with them just kind of scattered. And it was ridiculous. It was like $20 for 100 or something.
Diamond in the rough stuff right there.
Diamond in the rough, man. Not only there was
if they've laid it out well and everything's
exactly.
Forget about it. Yeah,
it was awesome. She went after work, picked up, met the lady, nice sweet old lady. It was probably her parents. I mean, this was turn of the past century stuff, like 1910s.
Yeah.
It was about 350, not 100. So we really, really lucked out with that. And I still haven't listed them all, but they're kind of long tail as well. But when they sell, and again, what you want to get is the guy that wants 20 of them at once. And that happens with some frequency. That's a good thing. They might not sell for 2 weeks. Then all of a sudden I'll get one guy buy 10 of them, which is really
another
cool.
Good thing. That probably a promotion of, hey, buy 2 or more and get free shipping or something.
You're right. You're right. Same exact thing. Yeah.
I think that's what you had it on. No,
I had it. I had it on the ads, but you're right. I'm thinking about, because they're mailed in the exact same mailer as the ad. So yeah, and the movie posters actually same thing. Movie posters are, I think they're on. I mean, that might get me over £1 if somebody bought 3 of them. They're pretty heavy because they're big.
Yeah.
But that's a great idea.
The cardboard gets heavy to protect them.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. The Smart Man's Reseller Show. Thank you. And women.
Yeah.
Evil
smart
Dead
men and the smarter women behind the smart men.
Always.
I'm wondering about Eric's Evil Dead play and how that wasn't something.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I missed one of Paul's too when we were sitting there yapping. You sold one during the show. There you go.
Right there.
That's
I think that was probably all Marty right there. Pulling up at 78 and shellacking it.
Shellacking it. He shellacked it. Great. Congratulations, Paul. That's awesome.
What was it, Paul?
Yeah, what was it?
A 45. Now those are the smaller ones typically?
Singles. Yeah, single. 7-inch.
Okay.
Yep, the singles. I was just gonna ask that, Eric. Yeah, Paul, let me know what your channel is. If you tell me the name, I'll put a link up there for you.
Let me go stalk it.
Guy's been phenomenal tonight. And check out the video about like I asked you before about the
Discogs.
Discogs, excuse me. Yeah, blanked out there. And if you have any questions,
they have an app.
You do have an app. Yep.
It is. I have. I try to put my collection in there.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like the label, there might be 15 editions of the same exact release in the same exact year.
Yeah, little variants. Yep.
Yeah.
Where the record was cut could be different, and it has like a different designation. And the dead wax is. Do you know what the dead wax is?
Of course not.
If you're looking, no, it sounds like a complicated term. It's not. If you look at a record, right, and you have the label in the middle, there's that area that's dead wax. It's not cut. It's just like it looks like a big thick piece of vinyl.
Shiny, yeah.
Yep, exactly. Well, in there'll be like little numeric indications and stuff like that, and those are really crucial. That can make or break values of records, based on where it was pressed, what edition it is, like -1, -2, okay. And that's one of the big things that they look for over there. A novelty. Oh, here we go. Novelty chariot race game record. That is so cool.
Chariot, like from Ben-Hur?
Yeah, really.
I'm trying to think of any other chariot races I've ever seen in the movies.
Yeah, that's the only one that stands out. Paul, do you go to record shows and stuff? Like, where do you get this stuff?
This is like the original Game Boy or something or Choose Your Own Adventure.
If a groove played first would be the winner. That's cool. Do you go to record shows, Paul? Like, where do you get the stuff? Or do you just pick them up at antique malls and stuff or state sales?
Maybe his last name is really McCartney and he's just trying to...
let's hope so.
Yeah.
Then we got to talk. Paul, let me know what your store name is on eBay and we'll post it up there for everybody.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you need to have Paul next week. Well, maybe in 2 weeks. I'll just back off and I'll ask my questions to Paul and you just interview Paul because
we can have segments like we feature specialists in certain areas, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it does sound super cool.
Eric, why does your friends being snobs make it hard to learn from? Just because you don't want to ask them because they're jerks about it, or what?
Probably that, or they think they're above. Like that's what I was saying. That's the one downside. A little bit of Discogs. Some of the people, not everybody, like anything else, but some of the people there are very, they're kind of snobbish. They think they're experts and.
Not like us who know we're experts.
That's right. Is that the eBay store? Solomon and Sheba? Let's see.
I know what that's a reference to.
Sounds biblical to me.
Yeah. That's like.
Is that a film?
His mom? That's his mom.
Oh, really? Was it?
Well,
I thought that was I think it was a movie. Records are for fun. Cool. Yeah, I'm just curious the way you pick them up, especially these really oddball ones. Like, I guess you have that keen eye. You know what?
He goes to Tracy's barn and he digs through her death pile. Yes. And he's like, nice. And he just walks out with them and she doesn't know.
That was the movie, yeah. Oh, okay.
That's a cool find.
Yeah, really cool. Records are fun, by the way. At the end of the day, they're just fun. It's a great form of music. Superior, as far as I'm concerned, the best way to listen to music is on vinyl. It still hasn't been beaten. That's why they're back. Everybody had it dead and buried when CDs came out, and now CDs are basically dead. They had a really short lifespan. They'll probably, everything old is new again, they say, right?
I mean, all in the 2000s, all I did was, buy music off of iTunes and download it, and I'd rip the CDs that I had because I collect soundtracks.
Okay, that's cool.
And so I would just rip all my soundtracks, and they're just there for me. I'd put them on my MP3 player or my iPod or whatever. And over the last year, I've gotten back into collecting. Do you know like Entrada and La La Land Records?
Uh-huh.
You ever heard of them? So
yeah, I have.
What they do is they go back and they get the rights to produce, say, a new Field of Dreams soundtrack, and they expand from the original Field of Dreams, and you get alternate cuts, and it's all remastered and sounds great, but it's only available on CD. So I'm a sucker for it. I'll go buy it and I'll just add it to the collection, and I'm back buying CDs, something I stopped doing 15, 20 years ago. So
wow, really? Has it been that long for you? I guess so.
Probably, yeah, probably. I'd say 15 years, yeah.
Wow.
PJ's books and stuff.
Check them out.
If you get any lowballs from me, Paul, it's just because I'm too stupid to know what it's actually worth. But I'm gonna check out your store.
Yeah, I am too, and I definitely recommend everybody else does. Because based on this hour and a half conversation, I mean, my goodness, quite an impression. That's great. Okay.
You know what's terrible in eBay is actually doing a search for a seller. You would think that you could just put that in the search bar and the seller's name would just come up.
You would think,
but no.
I think. Let me see.
I don't even know how to search for a seller on here.
I do, and I'm going to show you.
Please, thank you.
Well, that's the link. You go on a link right there. And there's a field at the bottom. It says find stores.
Oh,
check that out. Yeah, I found that a while ago. I just saved it as a favorite because I never would have remembered how to get there again. So there's a little. Hopefully,
Paul's got a Close Encounters cassette tape right there, soundtrack. That's my kind of crap that I buy.
That's cool.
I love that stuff. Yeah, Paul's into the same kind of stuff you and I are, Marty.
That's cool.
He's got that ephemera feel and the music and the media.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
absolutely
cool
beautiful
stuff, Paul. I like it. All right, so what's coming up for this week? Oh, I was going to tell you earlier. You had talked, of course, last week, and you referenced it today about how you had the office business that you kind of helped, get some stuff moved and
empty out.
Empty out. And then you got some items for keeps and for sales, and it's been lucrative or will continue to be so.
Mm-hmm.
There was an ad on Nextdoor to, I believe it was Nextdoor today, and it was somebody that's saying, hey, we are moving our business to another place, and we have a bunch. It was a single picture, and it looked like a production line type thing. And I saw shrink wrap, and I saw bubble wrap, and wow, I got excited, right? But it said, reach out to me if you want to come by. We don't want to move all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to him, and he invited me to come by tomorrow night. So I'm gonna go by tomorrow.
That's great.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's office furniture, or packing stuff, or
that is so cool.
Who knows? But I'll definitely go check it out, and I'll let next week if it turned out to be anything cool. Or if I'm not on next week, it went sideways.
Yeah. God forbid.
Eric, be careful what you love there, and unless Tracy's gone.
Tracy can't be gone.
The Mystery of the Vanishing Magician. You know what, Marty? Sometime it would be cool. Here's just another idea. Lock it up because it's just a fantastic idea. Is when you get when you get a Paul jumping in and owning the night like
he has, he's putting on a clinic. No doubt about
it. Featured his store, but if you ever did bring him on for an interview or he came back and that kind of stuff, it would be fun to look through some people, some of your commenters' stores and just kind of see some of the goofy stuff they got listed if they wanted to.
If they wanted to, right. You need the permission. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. See, I knew this potluck thing would work out well, that people would come in.
It worked out. Talking about belly dancers.
You kidding me?
Keto.
Shellac. Couple of big words, SAT words for this evening.
I'm most excited about the RCA stereo logo.
Oh, seriously, that's a good one.
I bet those are the kind of things that you could even go into Goodwill and occasionally pick up, because it's going to be in that same chunk of classical or country music or Barbra Streisand that's always there.
Always Barbra Streisand. That's so true.
So much Barbra Streisand.
Whole catalog.
Why do they make so many?
I don't know. Yeah, well, popular gal.
Yeah, somewhere. Someday she was.
Yeah, she definitely was.
All right, so I was asking before I interrupted myself, asking you a question about you to talk about myself. So I'll repeat my question.
Rewind that.
Question is, what do you got coming up this week, Marty?
What do I have coming up this week? As far as reselling?
Well, you mentioned reselling and YouTube. You mentioned you got you're hoping to get a new ad video out, next part.
Oh, yes. In the YouTube. Okay. Yes, we have part 3 coming out probably tomorrow. As a matter of fact, it was shot already. I just have to finish editing it. That will be the listing segment where we go into detail about how to list. Is kind of rudimentary. We all know how to list on eBay, I would hope, but going to key in on certain categories to put these ads in based on the success that I've had with them. So we'll get into some detail about the different categories, and you'll see how many. It's amazing how many there are, and we'll kind of touch on like what collectors look for in bunches, and just to give you a little preview, like Campbell's soup. For whatever reason, you see a Campbell's soup ad, grab it. Car ads, any car ad, especially old cars that no longer exist, seem to do, like a Studebaker is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
But like we'll touch on all those different points in this part 3, and then later on in the series we'll get more into like storage and keeping things organized, because that's crucial when you have any kind of volume of anything. I've seen lots of people with like postcard videos or record videos actually that have thousands of records. You got to have a good inventory system, or it can get really chaotic.
And how many of those do you?
Thank you, Tracy.
You have, and how many do you have that are listed right now? Would you say?
Well, active, just ads right now.
Yeah.
About 2,200. And without
say 20, and I was like,
no. Active about 2,200, and no exaggeration, at least 10 times that amount to be listed, like probably more. Because certain magazines, I kind of did I put that on the short? I don't remember, but the magazine, The Good Housekeeping, it was a 1929 Good Housekeeping that I picked out for the video, the second video. That one magazine with 39 ads in it, 39 big full page ads. And I think I wrote in the body of that. I mean, just think about it. If they sold for $10 each, that's almost $400.
$10 a pop, yeah.
And that's cheap. Yeah. Like, I don't think I sold any for less. They're priced around 15. I'll take a best offer if somebody makes a reasonable offer, especially if they buy multiples.
Yeah.
But that's just a single page. Remember we talked about the double page ads, like the TWA one I showed you last week? Those I have up for like $25, $30. So like, let's bump it up to like a $15 average. I mean, you're talking over $400 for that one lousy magazine. Go sell that magazine, or go look up the price of that issue.
$5, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why a lot of people.
Okay, well, that's good to know, because I picked up a ladies' home journal.
Yep,
is that
great
the
one.
Right thing from like the 20s or something.
Yep, great one.
I picked one of those up this weekend, and I haven't even opened it.
Carve it up.
I kind of feel a little guilty because I picked up
know
a number of magazines from this lady, and she had a lot of cool stuff. But this magazine was in a protective plastic bag. And I'm like, if I open that up and rip it to shreds, like Marty wants me to do, like Marty told me to do, like Marty, the evil angel or something over here.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, on the shoulder, sure.
Yeah. So maybe I won't rip it up, but I'll bring it on next week.
Yeah, let's go through it.
and
We'll go through
we
it
can go
together.
through it a little bit. And you can tell
Absolutely.
me what to do. Tell me what to
Well,
do, Marty.
I'll give you my advice. That's for sure. Paul, the 60s. The older the better, just in general, right? The older the better, but there's a market for everything. And now, I talked about this earlier to another live show. The thing with the ads that is really intriguing to me is like, because again, I always go back. Some of them, I think the oldest one we have is like 1898 or something like that. So from then all the way up to, I think early 70s or so is what I have. The thing that's really cool is during that period, I mean, think about how much changed during that period and how many innovations came to light. I think we talked about that, right? So like, I literally have ads that say, introducing the radio, like this brand new revolutionary product.
Right.
And it's just so cool to see this like Victorian dressed lady, going like this and turning a knob, and the mirror with the
How
big
is
old.
it? How are they doing it?
Well, I'm trying,
You did it better than me. There you go.
like that?
Nice.
Yeah, with the hair going and the big bouffant. But it's hysterical, and I'm telling you, those things are just amazing to see. It's like literally a portal into history, and seeing these innovations and early, car, literally like some of the first cars you've ever known, like, and they're priced at $200, Ford Model T. I have Ford Model T ads. Model A was the later. So the older the better, but the 60s stuff, there are some 60s ads that are going to be really, really good to have. It's amazing. Smoking cigarettes, which were prevalent up until not that long ago. You know what I mean? You saw them all the time. There used to be commercials, but it's uncanny how many cigarette ads there are. And you'll have like famous celebrities smoking a cigarette. Paul Newman smokes Camels. You should too.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. So like in the 60s, you're going to find a lot of really good car ads. If you get Mustangs, mid 60s Mustangs, that's golden.
Also with Paul Newman in them or something, right?
Paul Newman or celebrity. Oh yeah, that's always going to add, right? If you could get a tie-in with a celebrity, sure. But like, so yeah, 60s will still do good, and even 70s, like you'll see innovations like 70s, like if you find 8-track ads, because they were kind of a short-lived product, right? But if you see 70s 8-track ads, that might sell really well.
What about the Floby from the mid 80s?
Floby. I don't have any 80s. The floor Chia Pet or something like that. Yeah, like silly things like that. Or it's a great one to tie in with Tracy's thing with her movie posters. A lot of ads in these magazines were promoting a new movie to come out. So you might get like a Star Wars. That would be gold. You find a 77 magazine, coming out this summer, Star Wars, or
yeah, Paul. If you don't want any of those when you go through them, let me know. Yeah,
no, but movies are a great thing to look out for in general, and going all the way back too. Like if you could ever find a Gone with the Wind, coming soon thing, something like that would probably be name your own price kind of scenario. But they're all out there, and that's the great thing about having such a wide gamut of material to pull from. You're going to find stuff like that. I have a whole bunch of
irony that if you were to just list that magazine, in fact, even if you were to list that magazine with that ad as one of the pictures, it would still sell less than if you diced that sucker and listed the ad alone, right?
Absolutely. Every time. There are very, very few exceptions. There's a couple of Life magazines that are worth the Marilyn covers, like a Marilyn Monroe cover from, I don't know, the year 52, 53 is really valuable. But again, I would still argue that, like you just said, if I can get 20 out of those and sell them for $20 a piece, I'm going to make more than Marilyn's cover, but there's a couple I wouldn't rip up, like the Beatle ones for me. Of all things, who's the guy that played the lion in Wizard of Oz? What the heck is his name? The Cowardly Lion. I can't think of the actor's name, but he's Burt Law. A great issue. I sold it. If you look up, go to pull up Earth Point.
All right, let's do it.
If you have a second, I got one. I got one for you. We got a first use.
Folks, this is internet history.
Internet, that's my homemade, copyright free. Check out Bolo. If you go to Bolo. This is a Bolo. Burt Law.
Burt, you're gonna have to spell
L-A-H-R.
I need Burt spelled, dude. Is it B-U-R-T?
I think it's B-E-R. I think it's B-E-R-T. L-A-H-R.
Okay.
Put Burt Law Life magazine. I think it's 67. I think. Oh,
Did I spell it right?
LAHR, I think it is.
Yeah. See, that's my problem. That's why I can't
sold
do a
this.
word point video, is because I don't know how to spell. Okay, here we go. Look at you. Look at you go right here.
Bam. What do we got?
The
57,
hell?
right? Yep.
Yeah, 57.
Because if you read
Magic mushroom.
Yep. That's what sells it, not Burt Law. God rest his soul. That's what sells it. And we had one in the lot that I picked up. And there you go with the cigarette ads, like I told you.
Smoking.
But yep. Smoking. If you
That's
get a Burt
crazy.
Law 1957 magic mushroom, don't cut it up.
Okay.
Sell that
Bolo,
guy.
everyone. I don't know
Bolo.
if you saw the promo there, but yeah. Burt
Just in
Lahr.
case you hadn't seen it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I've been waiting all night to pull that out.
Wow. That was legit.
Yeah, that's a real good one. So everybody, from me to you. I was lucky enough to sell one a couple years ago when we picked up that huge lot from Pittsburgh. It was just mixed in there. So there's a couple.
That was in there.
But I'll tell you, when you think about the, like I said, 1936 up until the early 80s or so, there's only a handful of covers that would justify or warrant like a price like that. They're not. Everybody thinks, oh, I got this, the Man on the Moon, and all these things that like people think are going to be this great. They were so common and like so mass produced.
Right? Yeah.
It's 10 million of them, and it's just JFK. I remember like getting in. One of the first estate sales we went to, some guy had a whole pile of JFK magazines, and I thought, oh my God, from the assassination, from before his assassination. Yeah. But again, they were mass produced. Everybody had the newspaper. Yep.
They just don't sell for much.
Right. They don't. They're still cool to have. Right. Exactly. But they're not going to sell for like crazy value like you might think. At least I did initially. That was when I first started with this, and I had no idea. I was like, oh man, I'm going to, make a killing.
Like there's some collectors with capital of magic mushrooms. That's what's interesting. They actually have money and they're buying these things.
You sold some gems out of it. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, National Geographic again. Were they World War II National Geographics, Paul? I'm curious because that seems to be like the only time period that sells really well.
Somebody is almost every 2 days you'll see large lot of National Geographics. I won't even touch them.
They don't sell. I mean, they just don't sell independent, by themselves.
And those ads aren't worth anything in a National Geographic, right? Because they're like a normal sized magazine, would you say, or
no? They're actually smaller than, aren't they? Kind of tiny. I mean, I never.
They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of comic book size or something.
Yeah, exactly. They look like a comic book size. A Manson cover twice. Nice. See, Paul knows. He's not just about records. Yeah, 70s Disney World Cup. Right. The opening of Disney World. Yeah, which had in October. Yeah, that's a very famous one too. Yeah, but like I said, when you think about the thousands, I dare I say, right? You figure like 80 years worth and they came out every month. Well, many hundred. I mean, if I have 650, there's got to be at least 1,000, I guess, all told. And maybe there's like 10, 20 max that are really worth some good money.
Well, and what was Eric saying the other day? I think he was, and I'd never even thought about it. Nike, or at least sneaker ads from the 80s and 90s. He sells those for So it's creeping up. So Paul, maybe not so many 70s stuff right now, but give it 5 years. Hold on to that stack.
Yeah, the maps. I have a few maps too. They came up with like world maps, really, really big, oversized. That look cool if you frame them. That was very popular. I had a subscription, like early 80s. I think I had a subscription to National Geographic. I got it as a high school, like as a gift for graduating or something. And they were cool, but they didn't.
What? Nice.
Yeah. It was a gift. It was a gift.
Were you a history guy?
Sweet intent. No, I like history, sure, but like it was a kind of wacky gift. But
actually, you know what? I think my oldest, he probably would have appreciated if he wasn't so digitally bound. Now he probably would have appreciated something like that.
That's cool. Yeah, it is.
I like it.
No, it is. It's cool. Very unique, right? Not a typical graduation gift.
No one else has ever got that.
I'm the only one in history. Yeah, they are. That's what I'm saying, Paul. They usually are really easy to come by and very inexpensive, and so many people have them. But I've just heard that like the World War II issues are about the only ones that have any, real good value, unless you lot up by the 100.
And there's nothing quite like shipping 100 magazines because
they don't go media mail. That's a shame.
They don't. Yeah,
they're not supposed to.
Not supposed to. I shipped 66 military modeling magazines today. And of course, had to go priority. It was 24 pounds. It was a 13 by 12 by 11 box, and it cost me FedEx, I think, $23. So not terrible. I charged 20, and I charged 20 because I know sometimes it's going to cost a bit more, sometimes a little less. But so I ate a couple bucks, but yeah, still 66 magazines, normal size, 24 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. It would be nice if you could ship those media mail, but
I know.
I'm just not.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it the one time you get busted or whatever, and especially on a huge sale like that. You made some good money on that one, I assume.
Yeah. Let's see. I sold that for 100, and they were just part of this big lot. So I'm still working toward getting into the black on that lot. But it's a long tail. It's a long tail thing, but I know it will pan out. Yeah, $100 for 66. I'll take it.
Yep. Truth be told, these ads are kind of long tail too. I mean, they're not going to fly off the shelf the day you list them. But again, it's a volume game. Like if you just, I could easily, now that I know I have 2,300 up, easily get 25,000. Like there's no doubt about it. I have the capability. The time is another point, but we have the. We have.
I see them. I see them all on the stacks of your books back there. I see where you got them. On the bottom, I can see them on the bottom shelf there.
That's where they are. Yeah, but seriously, I mean, I could easily get 25,000. And if you have 25,000 listings of almost anything, you're going to sell a lot every day. So it becomes a numbers thing.
Yeah. No, I definitely want to follow that lead, man, because there's a lot of good money just waiting to be found. And you could stop sourcing and just go into your backlog there of that stuff.
Exactly. It's always there. And that's not a death pile. Like that's a legitimate. It's just so much.
You can't do that nonstop every day. It would just get so. It would stop being fun. We do this for fun
to an extent. Yeah, that's true. Like if I had some support here, other than my wife, with her keen eye, like I don't have anybody else that actually processes this stuff other than me. If I had, and it might warrant it one day, maybe I will be lucky enough to hire a person.
Maybe there's a Boy Scout out there who needs a patch or something, like a magazine shredding pad.
That's true.
See if you can find one of those.
That's cool. It's a lot of 20 over the weekend. Nice. They were light. Good. All right, everybody. It's a little after 9 o'clock here on the East Coast. And what is it, 7 over there, I guess?
It's dinner time over here.
I think dinner's cold already.
Equals dinner. Yeah.
Yes. So 7 equals dinner. I want to thank everybody. Paul, thank you so much for showing up tonight. I really appreciate all your insight, and go visit his store. Tracy, as always, pleasure. We're going to have some exciting news about Tracy coming up this week, so look on Instagram for that.
Bolo explosion.
One more. We got to do one more for the night. I'm proud of this. I made this, everybody.
Tracy is the bolo.
Tracy. But Paul gets the trophy this evening for a series of bolos. A series of bolos, as a matter of fact.
Paul's the bolo.
Thank you, Tracy. And very, very happy birthday to Eric. Thank you again for coming out tonight. And thanks to everyone who joined. Check out Travis's link. I have it in the description to his eBay store. Check out ours if you would. And we will see you guys next Monday. Have a great week. Good luck. Thanks again, Travis, for joining. Really appreciate it. Take care. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.